I'm doing it. A 24-hour readathon. A real one, a good old-fashioned, trying to stay awake for 24 hours straight and read as much as possible readathon. I have done the timer method once before where I set a 24-minute timer, and anytime that I stopped reading because I just didn't want to, I went to bed, I was eating, anything, you pause the timer and then you just resume when you're reading. And I was just being dramatic. That is a real 24-hour readathon, and honestly, that is probably much more better for your mental and physical health. But I want to do the original. I want to do a straight 24 hours. Now, if you know me, you're probably pretty hesitant and thinking I can't do this. And that's because I feel like I am well known for falling asleep all the time. If you've watched pretty much any of my reading vlogs, I don't think there is a single one where I haven't fallen asleep on accident. If you're new here, then hi, my name is Maddie and I have a problem staying awake. I have no choice whether I'm gonna fall asleep or not. My body makes a decision and I get no warning, I just fall asleep. So no matter how much I might want to stay awake, I usually just cannot force myself to do it, which is why for this, I have come up with a plan. In preparation for this, I got lots of snacks, food, drinks, energy drinks. I honestly don't really think that energy drinks affect me, but we're gonna hope that they do today. And I think that one of the big things that's gonna help me stay awake is just eating and drinking and having something to do. One, I need to go walk on the treadmill, which I can just bring my Kindle and do that. That is something I think I'll save for the middle of the night when I'm getting really tired. I want to start a puzzle and listen to an audiobook. And if tomorrow I'm feeling really tired, then I think I wanna go to Barnes or a coffee shop, and hopefully that will help to keep me awake. I feel like this is a lot. Like, nobody is having to plan all this out for a 24-hour readathon. It's really just something you do. But I'm really committing to the bit. I want to stay awake as long as possible. With that being said, I can almost guarantee you that I will fall asleep at some point. If I get to the point where I'm just so physically exhausted, I will go to sleep. And we'll just see how it goes. I am making no promises other than the fact that I'm gonna try my hardest. It is 4:12 and I literally just got done with work. I logged off and I immediately got all my stuff ready and sat down to film. I had one of the worst days at work that I've had in a really long time, so I'm very excited to just get to put that all behind me and read for the next 24 hours. It sounds really fun. We'll see how I'm feeling in like 12 hours, but as of right now, I'm very excited and I just want to start reading. I'm currently reading Hidden Pictures, which is a thriller. I started it yesterday and let me see. I'm reading it on my Kindle actually, and I am on page 133, which it says is 35% in. So I am this far in, and so far I'm really enjoying this. It's very engaging, so hopefully that is just what I need to try and stay awake. I only have about 240 pages left, so hopefully I can finish this in the next, let's say, 4 hours. One thing to know about me is that I'm also a very slow reader. So I'm definitely not gonna be reading like 5 or 6 books during this readathon, but I'm really loving this and excited to dig back into it. And these are the books that I have left on my February TBR. I'm not going to restrict myself to this TBR. I just want to read whatever I want, mood read. But honestly, I'm really into the TBR this month and there's a lot of books that I want to read, so hopefully I get a good chunk done out of here. The two that are really calling my name are City of Ashes, which is book 2 in the Mortal Instruments series, and A Court of Mist and Fury, which is also book 2 in the ACOTAR series. So we'll see what happens, what books I get into, and how many times I fall asleep. That's enough of an intro. I just want to get started. Thinking about the fact that I will be doing this until 4:30 tomorrow is starting to feel very scary. So let's just get started. Okay, it is 7:35. We're 3 hours and 11 minutes in, and I just finished Hidden Pictures. I am very excited and proud to announce that I didn't fall asleep once. Thank you. As sad as it is, that's quite an accomplishment for me, especially because I was sitting in this chair and I meant to make a mental note not to sit in this chair for long because I always fall asleep in this chair, even though it's not always the most comfortable. But anyways, I am done. We are 1/8 of the way into the readathon and I'm happy to have my first book done. Obviously, I was already like 1/3 of the way into it, so I didn't read the whole thing in 3 hours. That would be crazy. But I do feel like I read it really fast. And I feel like it was perfect for this because it was fast paced and it kept my attention the entire time. Right now, I'm feeling like it is a 3.5 stars. There were definitely a lot of things that were weird about it that kind of threw me off, that I feel like didn't need to be there, or things that just didn't seem realistic at all. And then I feel like the genre of thriller that this ended up going into isn't really something that I normally would go for. Like, I just don't think in general that I love this type of thriller, but I don't really want to tell you what it is because that would be a spoiler. I honestly kind of had an idea that it would go that route going into it, but I wasn't totally sure. And I just realized I never told you what the book is about. It is about this like 21-year-old girl named, oh my God, I just finished this. What is her name? Mallory. Her name is Mallory. That's embarrassing. Okay, it is about this girl named Mallory who's 21. She's a recovering drug addict and she ends up getting this job as a nanny for this 5-year-old boy named Teddy. And he really likes to draw pictures and they start out really cute and then they start to get really disturbing and sinister. That's really all that I knew going into it, but let me check the back of the book. I feel like that was not really enough of the plot to make anybody want to read this. Mallory Quinn is fresh out of rehab when she takes a job babysitting Teddy. His drawings are the usual fare, but then one day he draws something different, a man dragging a woman's lifeless body. Then his stick figures evolve into increasingly sophisticated sketches depicting one disturbing scene after another. Is Teddy troubled, or is he channeling forces he can't possibly understand? Knowing just how crazy it all sounds, Mallory must decipher the images and save Teddy before it's too late. I picked this up kind of recently because I had heard a lot of people, I think on Book Talk, talking about it, just saying that it was a really good thriller, and honestly it was really entertaining and it was a fun read. It's just not necessarily my favorite mystery thriller type book. But I did think that it was really unique because you do get all of his pictures in it, and they start out, like I said, like regular pictures, and then they start to get a little bit like disturbing, freaky. So that was fun. There's a lot of pictures that break up the book, and honestly, this was just a quick, fun read. I'm glad that I read it, and I think it was the perfect book to start this. I literally sat in this chair the entire time other than one break to go get a snack. So I cannot believe that I stayed awake, and I'm feeling very awake. I don't feel tired right now. I wonder if it's the pressure of doing the 24-hour readathon that is making me feel awake or what. I really wanted to pick up A Court of Mist and Fury, but I don't know if I'm really in the mood for it yet. Let me go figure that out and I'll be back. It's now almost 10 o'clock, which means that I'm about 5.5 hours in. I cooked, ate, and listened to the audiobook, and now I'm on page 89 of City of Ashes. And so far I don't have much to say other than I wish that I didn't wait so long to start this book after the first one. I read the first one in January, so it really wasn't that long ago, but I did forget some of it. So it's taking me a little bit to kind of pick it back up. I'm a little bit scared that I'm starting to get tired. I don't really think it's time for an energy drink yet, but I think it's time for me to try this. I got the Dr. Goodwin flavor of Olipop, which I feel like this is such an influencer brand. They make gut healthy probiotic sodas, but I just wanted some fun snacks and drinks to try while I was doing this as some sort of incentive, fun stuff to try to keep me awake. So I want to try this because I'm assuming this is supposed to taste like Dr. Pepper, which is my favorite soda. Ooh. Well, that's certainly not a Dr. Pepper at all. Not at all the same. It's okay. I feel like all of these have that kind of fake sugary taste. I don't even know what it tastes like. It doesn't have much of a flavor. It's kind of light. Okay, well that's kind of nice. I'm going to attempt to sit at the table here and see how much I can read before I start to feel tired or bored. I think the move to try and stay awake is going to be to try and sit up as much as possible and not be on the couch or in my bed. So hopefully that works. But with me, I mean, it is what it is. I can't really help it. Hi, so for a time check, it is almost midnight and we have 7.5 hours down, which means 17 hours left? No possible way.
24 minus 7 is 17.
Oh my god. Okay, well, 16.5 hours left then. There's no way I'm not sleeping tonight. I am on chapter 9, page 176 of City of Ashes, and I'm enjoying it. I do feel like it's not as fast paced as the first book was. There's just not as much action going on, but at the same time, I'm still really liking it. I found a playlist on Spotify that I really like, and I forgot how much I love to read while I listen to music. And I feel like the music is sort of helping me stay awake. Maybe, I don't really know. But I definitely was starting to feel tired right after dinner, and it's still kind of there. I think it's a good time for me to go to the gym and walk on the treadmill just to do something, and then I can come back and have a snack, do a puzzle, have an energy drink finally, and just keep the party going. So just wanted to let you know that I'm still enjoying this and how far into it I am. I'm gonna go change and go down to the gym to walk, and I don't have this on my Kindle. It's not on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know how much it costs. Okay, it's 11 bucks, so no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just going to listen to the audiobook, which is just as good. I don't know how long I wanna walk for. I'm gonna shoot for at least 30 minutes. Take a look. It's 1:37 now, and I don't know where I was before, but I'm now on page 248, chapter 13. So I'm a bit more than halfway through. Still really liking it. I don't have much more to say about the book, but I think I'm gonna go take a shower and maybe a hot bath because my back really hurts from standing up and sitting up all day. Normally, I mean, I would be asleep by now, but I wouldn't have stood up or sat up in uncomfortable chairs for this long. But I am worried about how a hot shower and bath will affect my sleepiness. So hopefully it'll be fine, but I think I'm gonna do that, and then I am going to finally crack open one of my energy drinks when I'm done. Honestly, I'm so amazed that it's almost 2 o'clock and I'm not really tired yet. I'm really feeling like I can go a long time. Probably not the full 24 hours, but I do feel like I can make it quite a while. Those are bold words considering we're not even halfway through. These two are driving me crazy a little. They just can't have what they want, okay? It's just wrong. I just finished City of Ashes and it's 7:10 a.m., which means that I've officially been up for 24 hours now, and I'm only on hour 14, which means that I have 10 hours left to go. Oh gosh. I knew that doing this after work was a bad idea. Ideally, I would have started this like right now and then ended it on Sunday morning, just so that I could start as soon as I woke up. But I have things that I have to do on Sunday. I have plans and I just didn't want to be exhausted. So here we are. I am honestly so shocked that I've made it this far and I haven't fallen asleep. I really don't feel tired right now. I think that the Alani was doing its magic. Hopefully it doesn't wear off soon because I'm not about to drink another. I'm kind of shocked that 14 hours in, I'm only done with book number 2. I mean, I know I'm really slow, but this one took me 10 or 11 hours compared to the first one, which I had already started, but I still had 75% of it. It took me like 3.5 hours. I don't really know if I have too many thoughts yet about this book. I do think that I liked the first one just a little bit better. It just felt like it had more going on and I was a little bit more, I don't know, I just was having a bit more fun reading it. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna rate this. I think I gave the first one a 4 and giving this a 3.5 just doesn't feel right. So I'll probably give it a 4. Now I have to go straight into another book and I think I want to switch it up and I think I want to read Spy Family, which is a manga. So I think it would be fun to just break up the book and also the audiobook because I have been puzzling and listening to the audiobook for a long time. And I think speeding through a volume of manga would be fun. Side note, I think the Alani or something I ate is really not making my stomach happy. But anyways, on to Spy Family. I feel like I have talked about this a lot recently in my wrap up and then my February TBR. But in case you don't know what this is, it is about this guy who is a secret agent and for this big mission he has to have a fake family. So he adopts this little girl who's like 6 years old and he marries or fake marries this woman. And their goal is to get the little girl enrolled in this really prestigious school because that's where his target is. His fake wife is an assassin and then the daughter is a, what's it called? A telepath, so she can read their minds. And the spy and the assassin haven't come clean to each other what they are and why they actually are in the fake marriage. They each think that they are doing this fake marriage thing for different reasons. I just think it's really cute and fun and it makes me laugh. So I'm excited to go into volume 3. It's just so stupid that it's funny. This is so weird. It's just so stupid. The little girl's just so cute. Asleep. That needs to stop. I look like I'm dead inside, which maybe I am. So it's 9 o'clock and I just finished Spy Family Volume 1. It took me longer than I thought it would. Did I say Volume 1? I meant Volume 3. I'm losing it. So this is where I have started to fall asleep a little bit. I didn't actually fall asleep for more than like 30 seconds, I think. But I'm getting tired, but I'm also getting hungry. So I think I'm going to cook myself breakfast. So hopefully getting some food in me will help to keep me awake. We're 16.5 hours in, which means 7.5 hours left. Oh my God. Why did I do this? Why did I think it would be a good idea to start 4:30 just because I did it so late? Now I have to stay up for an extra 7.5 hours. That's what you're telling me? I mean, I've already been awake for, what time is it, 9? I've already been awake for 26 hours. So I have to be awake for a total of 33 hours. What? What was I thinking? Anyways, Spy Family Volume 4, loved it. It was hilarious. I don't know that everybody would like this. You just have to know going into it that it's silly and stupid and goofy, and that's like the whole point. I think that it's funny and cute. Okay, I think I'm going to maybe take just a little break to make breakfast. I think I might just throw on a YouTube video or Gilmore Girls or something, because I just don't think I can go straight into another book yet. I made breakfast, but I think I'm too tired to eat it. Also, I decided I'm gonna read Part of Your World next. That's all. 17 and a half hours in. Yay. 6.5 hours left. That's not bad. Is it socially acceptable for me to have another energy drink yet? I'm not feeling too confident anymore. Let's just say that. Did I fall asleep? Did I fall asleep? Had to have. Hi guys. We all saw this coming. I'm not sure how bad the footage is of me trying to stay awake. I fell asleep, I think around like 10:15. It is now exactly noon. I'm 19 hours and 35 minutes in. I woke up like 15 minutes ago, so I probably slept for an hour and 30 minutes. I was just really going downhill. And honestly, now that I've had a nap, I'm afraid I could continue to go downhill, but we will just see what happens, because I have 5 hours left of this. I only got to page 14 of Part of Your World before I fell asleep. I have around 360 pages left, so I don't think I will be finishing in that time. I think this will probably take me like 6 hours to finish, but you never know. But I'm going to try my best to just read as much of this as I can and to not fall asleep anymore. I'm hoping now that I've had an hour and a half of sleep that will just help me have the energy I need to finish this. Now I sound like I'm sick and I don't know why. All that was just to say that I failed, I fell asleep. On to this one. I feel like such a hot mess. It's been a long, long day and a half, 2 days, I don't even know. I'm officially at the 22-hour mark, so I only have 2 hours left. And I realized I haven't even given you any thoughts on the book or explained what the book is if you're not familiar with it. So I wanted to do that really quick. This is my first Abby Jimenez book, and I really wanted to get into her writing this year. I think that this was one of my priority reads for 2024. And this one is about this girl, Alexis, who is a doctor, and she comes from this family of like world-renowned surgeons and doctors, and there's a lot of pressure from her family to maintain a certain status, be like the best doctor, be at this specific hospital. And one day she meets this guy, what's his name? Daniel. She meets this guy Daniel in this small town, and they really hit it off. And the town is very much reminding me of Gilmore Girls and Stars Hollow. It's just a sleepy little town that sounds really cute. Everybody lives more of kind of a simple life than her. Like, she's a big city girl, she drives nice cars, she makes a ton of money, she's like this rich doctor who's super successful in that kind of way. And then the guy Daniel and most of the people in the town, they're living the small town life. Like, he's the mayor and he also runs a B&B, and he's kind of, I think, a carpenter or something. And they don't even have like a hospital or anything in this town. So like I said, they meet, really hit it off. And I think the big plot point is the book is, I mean, obviously it's a romance between the two of them, but the thing that's going on is she's kind of stuck between the life that her parents and her family really want her to have, the life of a prestigious doctor working at this specific hospital, versus, I'm assuming, the life that she wants to have with Daniel. Maybe she wants to move to this small town. So that kind of thing. She's just kind of looking at the two different worlds and deciding what she wants to be a part of or how she wants to mesh them together. I have heard really amazing things about Abby Jimenez's writing, and so far I do like it. I'm only on page 93. I don't know how long I've been reading this, but I've just been very distracted. I think it's just being at the end of this readathon. I just keep picking up my phone and I don't know. I've been really good about that for the rest of the readathon. I wasn't going on my phone. Like when I was sitting down to read, I was just reading. And now I just am having a much harder time focusing. And I don't really think it's the book. I just think it's because I've been doing this for so long and I'm so tired and I'm ready to be done. But I am enjoying the book so far. The only thing that is throwing me off a little is the chemistry between the two main characters feels very physical. So I'm hoping that the emotional connection between them gets a little stronger, and I'm sure that it will. But so far I like her writing, and I really hope that I can just get the motivation to read kind of nonstop for the next 2 hours and maybe knock out 120 pages or so. Those are my initial thoughts, and I'll check back in when we are done with the readathon. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is finally done. This has been quite the experience, actually. I'm so glad that I did this. I think overall it was much more fun than it was painful, but it has been a really long 2 days. I have now been up since 7:15 a.m. of yesterday, so much more than 24 hours straight, but the 24 hours of reading has been finished. I did fall asleep for, I think it was an hour or an hour and a half, but I really think that that is pretty good. Honestly, I expected having to go to sleep at like 2 or 1 a.m. and just try and wake up as early as I could and get started again. So the fact that I was able to go through pretty much the whole thing and just had to take a little power nap, I'm very proud of myself. And I honestly don't feel bad right now. I think that it's gonna hit me later, even after I took that hour and a half nap. I was kind of drifting in and out of sleep just a little bit, but then it went away and I don't know what happened. I know I said that I was kind of distracted and I couldn't get off my phone while I was starting this one. Now I got to page 209 and I am hooked. Now that my 24 hours is up, I'm still just gonna go sit down and read more of this book, which is crazy. I really thought that I would just be burnt out from reading and not want to pick anything else up for at least the rest of the day. But thankfully that's not what happened. I'm just in more of a reading mood, which I feel like is just, I don't know. I'm shocked and I'm happy that that's how this played out. So over the last 24 hours, I didn't finish 4 books, but I made a significant chunk out of these 4 books. I started with Hidden Pictures, and I think I was about a third of the way into this one when I started. This I gave a 3.5 stars. I thought that this was a really engaging, fun read. It's just not my typical mystery thriller subgenre. Definitely a fun read, and I thought it was a really good note to just start off on. Then City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare, book 2 of the Mortal Instruments series. This book honestly took way longer than I expected it to. I think this book took maybe half of the whole 24 hours. I guess it's the only full novel that I finished. But comparing it to the 3/4 of Hidden Pictures, like it was just completely way more, which I didn't expect because it's young adult and I flew through the first book. This was still really fun. I rated it the same I did the first one, which was a 4-star. But if I was being super picky, like if I did quarter stars, it would probably be a 3.75 star just because I didn't love it quite as much as the first one. But I think a big part of that might have also been that I consumed a huge chunk of this via audiobook. This is the book that I was listening to while I did my little workout and was doing the puzzle. So while I really do love audiobooks, I think that for me personally, there's certain books where I think that if I do the audio version for the entire thing, I just don't get as much out of it. And I think that fantasy series and maybe sci-fi are probably those types of books that I just won't get as much out of because there's so many details. And if I'm doing other activities while I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm just not as present as I am if I'm reading it on the page. So I want to read the 3rd book soon because that kind of finishes the first group of books that you're supposed to read. And I definitely want to read all of it or most of it just in the book and not listen to the audiobook. Then I read volume 3 of Spy Family, and I feel like I don't have any more to really talk about this because it's just so short. But so far I've given all 3 Spy Family volumes that I've read a 4-star. I think they're really solid, fun. They are the only manga that I've ever read, so I don't really have anything to compare them to. but it's giving me everything I wanted it to give. It's quick, it's just entertaining. It made me laugh so much more than any other book that I read here. And I just think I really love this series and I can't wait to continue. And lastly, Part of Your World, which I can't wait to finish. I am just a little bit more than halfway through on page 209. I think I really do like her writing. I see why she's so popular. It's just so easy and fun to read. The couple stuff is not my absolute favorite. Sometimes I feel like you read a romance and you just really connect with the characters and you love them together and you're really rooting for them, and that's the main thing that you're invested in. Which for a contemporary romance, I mean, I think that's the goal. I'm not super head over heels with the couple itself, but I do like the characters. I really love Daniel, our main male character. It's reminding me a lot of When in Rome by Sarah Adams, which is one of my favorite books. So I think I just love a book like that, and I want to read more small town romances now because I think it's my thing. So I don't think it's going to be anything higher than a 4-star. It's not an amazing favorite romance book of all time kind of thing, but it's really just fun. Like, I am flying through this. I don't want to put it down, and that's really all I need sometimes. Literally, as soon as I turn the camera off, I am just going to pick this back up. An hour ago, I thought I was going to film this in my bed and then immediately just roll over and take a nap. But now my plans have changed. So that was everything. I feel like this is going to be a lot. It's going to be a pretty long video, I'm afraid. But I'm really glad I did this. It was fun to try something new, and I think that now I have the confidence. I know that I'm actually able to do this. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this. Let me know, and let me know if you've read any of these books or if you want to see me do this again. Thank you so very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!